Hi, my name is Tanisha Madison, and I am super excited about sharing my feedback on working from home. I actually have been working from home since 2011, and what I'm going to share today is what I did or what I researched back in 2011 in the beginning. And this company was Rat Race Rebellion. A friend of mine actually told me about this particular, a family member actually told me about this particular website. And what it is a list of jobs, work at home jobs. So once I clicked this particular website, I noticed there were a list of job search over here in the job search menu. Because I am in a call center, customer service, or medical field, I was looking into those. Today, I'm actually going to speak on call center and customer service. So I'm going to click that button. Once I got to this page, I noticed one, they actually had featured opportunities for different work at home companies. For this today or this week, it happens to be Converges, Sitel, Live Ops, Sutherland, and a couple of more. I worked for Converges before. I have worked for Sitel before. They are actually very good companies. They hire for other companies. This list that includes for call center customer service are companies themselves as well as companies that hire for other companies. The first thing I do want to point out though, look at this green box. Know that even though this is a list of jobs, it says clearly, please do not assume that just because a company appears on this list that they have current opportunities for home-based workers. Sometimes they're hiring, sometimes they're not. So once you click the website for each company, it will let you know whether or not they're hiring at that particular moment. Just this is a list, like I said. Another thing about this website, remember this part is your ads, where it says ad choices. So this is not part of Race Rebellion. This is just ads. That can or cannot be beneficial. Just make sure you research um, before you do anything when it comes to the ads. Code key right here. This is one thing you need to look at once you apply, before you apply for different jobs from working from home. The reason why I say that, doing job applications can take a good bit. Filling out the job app can take a long time. So if I were you, I would check to make sure these companies is what is in your area first of all, um, that you want to, let's say BC background check. You want them to do a background check, and I'm gonna get into where where it's at over here on this side, but for each company, inbound IB equals inbound calls. That's where you take just inbound calls. AS appointment scheduling. IC independent contractor. CC credit check. Outbound calls OB. TS is tech support. EM employee, and PDT paid training. TM is telemarketing. Um, what you need to realize is they have an X by what that particular job requires, which is over here in this yellow box. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to say this. These are the names of the companies: 1-800 Contacts, 1-800 Flowers, ACD Direct. These companies are in alphabetical order, whether it's a company that hires for another company, whether it is the company itself. Example, Cox Communication is on here, Apple is on here. Whether it is an independent contractor, whether it is an employee. Um, One thing you need to look at, and I'm gonna give you the example of, let's say 1-800 Contact, since it's at the top of the list. If I were you, know that underneath it says customer service, so you pretty much know you're gonna be doing customer service. Um, the pay rate sometime is here, sometime it is not. This particular job is $9 off an hour. Make sure you look at that. Make sure you can. This is what you want. Your pay. If it's not, then don't apply for it. At least you'll have heads up what the pay is before you apply for a job with any of these companies. Some of them doesn't have the price pay rate on there. If you notice, the X's mean this is what that job requires, or what they're about. The X's down here also I'm gonna go into, But for this one, 1-800 contacts, EM, employee. They are not an independent contractor, they're an employee. You're going to be working for them. You see where it says PDT, that X, that's paid training for 1-800 contacts. They pay you for the training. IB means it's inbound calls only, which means you won't be making outbounds for like sales, things like that. If you look right here with the X's over here, these are the states that this particular company, 1-800 Contacts, is hiring for. The only X they have is Utah. So you know that is the only, if you live in Utah, you're allowed to apply for this particular company from working from home. Um, I'm going to scroll down and give you another example. Let's do Apple. And you see where it says Apple works from home, customer service, tech support, right here underneath the Apple. The pay rate is not there. I will say working from home can range from $8 an hour to $14, $15 an hour. It could go up, but a lot of times it's ranged between 9 and 12 average. Um, for Apple itself, if you notice, it's EM, it's an employee. You're an employee, or they're an employee, I'm sorry. IB, inbound calls only. TS, which means tech support. You have to have tech support experience. They may or may not require background check. Right here it says it does not, so I'm not sure about that. Usually they would, but I'm not sure about background check or credit check for Apple, but it says they do not check for that. These are the states from Alabama to Wyoming. You see where they hire for all states except Indiana, looks like it. So you're more than welcome to put in an application for Apple. Um, let me say something about, let's say, a Rise Virtual Solution. Do you see where it says independent contractor? So pay attention to that because it's not an employee, it's an independent contractor, which means you work for yourself. They do a background check, they do inbound calls only. You notice they do not do paid training. Um, these are the states. I have worked for Arise actually, you also. I've loved it. I personally had to pay for my training, but it was well worth it. Um, they hire for other companies. Um, very incentive, commission, awesome company, awesome feedback. Um, one thing also about this site, let's say once you click Apple, let's say you see it goes to straight to the Apple website for you to put in the application. And if you notice, the search box already have home in there, so more than likely they have the jobs already up at Home Advisor, So you'll see there are numerous of jobs that may or may not be hiring once you click that button for that particular job. But for and foremost, double check, make sure if they are hiring in Georgia, or for me, Georgia, because I stay in Georgia, or in your state that you um, live in. Make sure you like the part where outbound calls or inbound calls or employee independent, whatever you choose, make sure the option is what you want before you apply for a job. The pay rate, you may or may not see it. If you go to their website, they may have it there. You just never know. Different ones, it's just different. But if you notice, there are numerous of jobs on this particular website for call center customer service. Finally, I'm going to also say research the websites. This particular website I researched. I went into the About Us page. I actually saw some videos about who owned this website before I applied for anything, just to make sure it was not a scam, legit, and it was not for this company. I went to the frequent asked questions. I also went to the contact us just to see what what they require, what just different things about them. Just research before you apply for anything. For this, especially if you have to, they asking for money. If I were you, I would just research. But this is where I started from, which is the Rat Race Rebellion. Um, this is a great opportunity with call center customer service. So I would end that video from there, I believe. You all will. I will actually talk next about probably the requirements of setting up the computer.